Why does a Python script work perfectly in your terminal but fail the second it runs as a service? Here's how to turn any working Python script into a reliable, always-on service on Windows, Linux, macOS, and the cloud, so it runs permanently without you. 3 things break most Python service setups: wrong Python path, missing environment variables, no restart policy. So, how do you avoid all 3 on every operating system and in the cloud? On Windows, skip PyWin32 for new setups and use NSSM instead. Here's why. PyWin32 requires wrapping your script in a service class, managing 2 lifecycle methods manually, and additional boilerplate just to register the service. That's 3 layers of setup before your actual logic runs a single line. NSSM replaces all of it with 1 command. This is your venv Python binary. Point it here, not at the system Python, or the service exits immediately and silently. This is your script path. Use an absolute path here, not a relative one. The service has no working directory. This sets where your logs go. 1 for normal output, 1 for errors. Skip these and you have nothing to debug with when something fails. This starts the service immediately. Boot startup is usually enabled by default, so no separate step is needed. Once the service is running, use these commands to start, stop, restart, and remove it. If you get a PyWin32 install error, check your Python version first. PyWin32 has version-specific wheels. Make sure you install it in the same environment you're running the service from, not a different one. If the service won't start, open Event Viewer. Go to Windows Logs, then Application, and filter by your service name. If nothing appears there, run the script manually as administrator from the same directory first. The error will surface immediately in the terminal. On Linux, use systemd. First, create the service file using nano or vim. Then, add the following. Point this at your venv Python binary, not the system Python, or the service won't find your packages and exits immediately. This matters if your script loads local files like config.json, saves files, or uses relative paths. Set it correctly or use absolute paths in your code. Otherwise, it may work in the terminal and fail as a service. These 3 lines are your restart policy. Without them, 1 crash and the service stays down permanently. The first restarts after a crash. The second adds a 5-second delay between restarts. And the third stops the loop after 3 consecutive failures so systemd doesn't hammer a broken script. This keeps your credentials and API keys out of the unit file. Store them in a separate env file and reference them in your script with os.environ.get. Never hardcode them in the unit file itself. These send your script's output to the systemd journal. Your print statements show up in the logs without any additional logging library. Without them, journal.ctl returns nothing useful when something goes wrong. Then, run these commands to set up the service for the first time. Run this every time you change the unit file. Without it, systemd runs the old version. This creates the symlink that starts the service automatically on every reboot. This runs the service now. Enable and start are separate steps, so don't skip either. If you see active failed, run this command here. It gives you the last 50 log lines and almost always shows the exact error. If the service exits immediately with no useful output, run the script manually as the service user first. This replicates the exact environment the service runs in. And running the script directly here surfaces any permissions or environment errors immediately in the terminal. If it fails here, it's a permissions or environment problem. Fix it before touching the unit file. One more thing on permissions. Run the service as your own user, not root. Set the user field in the unit file to your username. If your service writes to var log, confirm that the user owns the directory. Permission denied errors on log files are one of the most common silent failures after the wrong Python path. On macOS, use launchd. Create the service file using a text editor. Then add the following. Point this at your venv Python binary, not the system Python. This is the closest macOS equivalent to restart policies on Linux. It tells launchd to relaunch the job when it exits. These are your only log files on macOS. Launchd has no journal equivalent. Set both explicitly, or you have nothing to check when something fails. And this is how you pass credentials and environment variables to the service on macOS. It's the equivalent of environment file on Linux. Then load and start the service. This registers the plist with launchd. The service doesn't exist to launchd until you run this. This starts the service immediately. Run at load in the plist handles automatic startup on boot. You don't need a separate enable step like on Linux. To stop the unload, run these commands. This stops the service. You should always stop before unloading. And this removes the service from launchd entirely, so it won't start again until you load it. If the service exits immediately, check the log files you set in standard out path and standard error path first. If those are empty, run the script manually in the terminal first, and the error will surface immediately. Now, if your team runs a mix of operating systems, use Supervisord or Docker. Supervisord gives you one config file that works across both Linux and macOS. These replace the restart policy you'd configure separately in systemd or launchd. Same behavior, but managed here in one config file. This passes environment variables directly in the config. Same idea as environment file on Linux without needing a separate file. Docker is the cleanest option if your team already uses containers. Add restart always to your Docker compose file, and the container restarts automatically after any failure or reboot. Your credentials and environment variables live in an env file. Keep it off version control. In the cloud, it's the same setup, just a different environment. Most cloud instances run Linux, so the same systemd setup usually applies. Before you deploy, confirm two things. One, exec start points to where your venv lives on the server, not your local machine path. Two, the service user has read access to your script and write access to your log directory. If you're on AWS Lambda or another serverless platform, you don't need a service at all. Lambda runs code per request and is stateless by design. So if your app needs a continuous loop or persistent state, it belongs on a server, not Lambda. A quick decision rule before you choose your setup. Not every background process needs a full service. Here's how to decide. Continuous loop that needs to stay alive, use a service. Scheduled task that runs at a fixed time, use cron on Linux or task scheduler on Windows. Cross-platform team setup, use Supervisord or Docker. Cron is not a service. It starts your script on schedule and exits, so it won't restart the script if it crashes. If your service stays up, but your scraper keeps getting blocked, it's a separate problem. A long-running scraper running as a permanent service sends requests from the same IP continuously. Targets detect that pattern quickly, leading to blocks. No restart policy fixes a blocked IP. That requires a proxy layer that automatically rotates IPs as necessary. Residential proxies can rotate IPs automatically per request or session, pulling from a global, massive pool of real residential addresses. Store your proxy credentials in your NSSM environment settings on Windows, your environment file on Linux, or your plist environment variables on macOS, and reference them in your script like this. Never hard code them in the script. A quick compliance note. Automated scrapers are subject to the terms of service of every site you access. So respect robots.txt, stay within rate limits, and don't collect personal data without a legal basis under GDPR or CCPA. These are not optional considerations. Once your scraper is running as a service, they become continuous obligations. If you need ethically sourced residential proxies for large-scale scraping projects, talk to our team at IPRoyal. We'll help you build a proxy setup that stays as reliable as your service does.